The main function of the colon is to eliminate waste from our body, not just the waste from the food that we eat, but also toxins and pathogens. And when the colon isn't working well, then the body struggles. The second major organ of elimination is the skin, and so when the colon isn't working well, the skin often steps in to sort of take up the slack, which is why you can get problems, spots, outbreaks, and even eczema and dermatitis when the colon is compromised and not working well. The colon also plays the major role in keeping us hydrated. Us eating and drinking enough is only the first stage of the process. It's the colon that enables us to absorb the moisture from our food and keep us hydrated. The colon is also key in the immune system. It's not just to do with us eliminating waste matter, eliminating toxins and pathogens. There are also something called mast cells in the colon, which are part of the body's inflammatory response, the first sort of line of defence against infection and disease. And obviously if the colon is compromised, then these mast cells don't work as well and don't keep us healthy and support our immune system in the way that we need. And the last, perhaps rather surprising way that our colon supports our health is because our colon produces 95% of serotonin, the hormone or neurotransmitter that is so key to keeping our mood lifted, keeping us feeling sunny and happy about things. And not only is 95% of the serotonin produced in the bowel, but also 95% of the receptors which enable us to take up the serotonin and benefit from the serotonin going round our system is also in the bowel. So it really pays to have a healthy colon where everything is functioning well for both these physical and physiological and even mood enhancing benefits from having a really healthy colon. Colonics can be really helpful to support the health of the colon. Firstly, the treatment itself is an hydration treatment. During the treatment, about 75 litres of water gently trickle in and out of the colon, providing lots of opportunity for the colon to take up moisture that it desperately needs. It's an opportunity to get rid of waste, including toxins and pathogens, and also if you've been eating something which has disagreed with you or irritated your colon, and there may be some sort of residue left over from that, it's the perfect opportunity to really flush that through and get rid of it. A colonic can also be very helpful if you have become constipated. One of the ways, well, the way that the colon gets rid of matter is for the muscles of the colon to contract. And you can imagine if your colon is full of matter and it tries to contract, then it contracts and immediately comes up against something solid and then is unable to properly go through that muscle motion. And so by clearing the colon and emptying it out, then those muscles have the space to contract and you can retone the colon. And particularly for people whose muscles have become weak or lazy in this way, I would use cold water, because that sort of, you know how you can sort of contract and tighten up in the cold. You put cold water into the colon and the muscles go and tighten up, and it's a perfect way of exercising and retoning those muscles. And for colons where the muscles are overreactive and oversensitized, I would use warm water, which can gently soothe and calm the muscles, reduce spasm and make everything travel through in a much more even and regular way. And lastly, colonics can be just so helpful, giving one a psychological boost if you are choosing to do your diet differently, maybe going into the future eating completely differently, maybe becoming a vegetarian or eliminating some foods that you know don't agree with you, or even just for a short-term detoxification diet. Having a colonic is like starting with a clean slate and really helps motivate you and clarify you and focus your intention to look after your body better.